it turns out that men commit suicide about 4 times more often than women, on average. Yes, in some countries, it also depends on what country you are talking about specifically. Some countries, the stats go as 3 times more often, but it's still more often. It's just in this particular country, men are a little less decisive than on average, but still they do it more than women. And that's basically like worldwide stats. What does it tell you about gender differences? It tells me that just another confirmation that men are the true rock and rollers. We have this rock and roll in us, on average, much more than in every woman. Men are the risk takers, okay? And we are ready to play these games and where we put our lives at stake, basically. That's why you will see, like even in every movie, you won't really see a woman, even if it's a feminist movie, we don't really see women playing Russian roulette. Even a feminist, like, I think even feminists, they understand that this doesn't really fit women. Just like the image itself, it just doesn't fit. But man, I mean, there's so many movies out there. It's just, I mean, so many movies where man, like the main protagonist, basically the main hero, undergoes this. From the recent ones that I watched, it was the Squid Game. I think the main character was doing this with some of the main sort of villains playing Russian roulette. Then Jack Reacher in the TV series was also doing that. But you don't really see women in the cinema, even in the cinema, because, I mean, women are really strong and they do lots of stuff in the cinema now, right? But I think even feminists understand that it's not like, I mean, let's not go that deep. And yeah, because even they understand that in real life, men are way greater risk takers and men are ready to put their lives on the line. And if something goes really south and men feel like responsible, men are going to whine much less and just pull the trigger. Apparently that's what we are. And no amount of equality games and feminism, I think, is not going to change this. And it's just in us, this testosterone, it's just there. And yeah. So what do you think it tells us about how hypothetically a God, I'm not a religious person, like not very religious, but hypothetically, it doesn't even matter what religion you belong to, but to me, this means that God in every religion is sort of supposed to be a little more forgiving of male suiciders, because that's just a natural thing for men to commit suicide. So God is supposed to be sort of more forgiving, and the social norms and the way nature made us basically divided humanity into the two genders. I think even from that viewpoint, you can say that, yeah, I mean, male suiciders must have some discount when they go to the afterlife, I would say. Yeah, it really does make sense, because women, I mean, a lot of times, yeah, we can say that women, I mean, the stats, they kind of go to show probably that while men are sort of more rock and roll, sort of have this rock and roll attitude and actually are ready to pull the trigger, women most of the time, not all of them, of course, there's plenty of women, and I know a couple who do commit suicides, and they do it like, they don't whine, they actually have the freaking guts, right? And I mean, I'm not calling anyone for suicide. I'm just saying as it is, just freaking raw facts. But still, women, they're still a little more about the show, sort of to do this, sort of to make people, pay attention to their pain and all that. It's a little more about that, okay? It's a little more about the drama. And generally, even the nature and the numbers, the stats, they support this idea that God is supposed to be like more forgiving towards man when man commits suicide. And well, generally when men die, but specifically when men commit suicide as well, because men are raw material. Nature makes us obsolete because, again, in the sexual market, men are not that much needed, right? You can have just one guy who will inseminate all of the chicks around, and that's it, So we aren't that valued unless, well, so basically men are only valued when we can provide, actually, when we can provide, protection, shelter, and all of that, and we can, put in a lot of hard labor. So we aren't valuable as inseminators as much. Our reproductive, basically, functionality is not as valuable, is what I wanted to say. Okay, my English is not entirely perfect. Okay, when we compare it to women, where every woman counts. Maybe if she's like really ugly, maybe then she doesn't count. Okay, but it's such a tiny freaking drop in the sea that you won't even notice it, right? So that means you can just have like a few male winners. They win, they get all the women, and basically they make all the other men either just serve this winner man, basically, in the society, the community that this man, create and all that. But all the others that are ostracized, basically, that don't, don't participate in the lives, basically, in the sexual market, and maybe they are not like needed in even as a sort of as a servicing group. Then this man, they are not necessary at all, right? They are like the losers, the omegas, basically. So what are they going to do, And in real life, this applies to even today, to our real life with this all of this equality, right? If you are on the losing side, you as a man, you've had your time, but you didn't succeed, you aren't successful in all these struggles, in all this competition, you're just losing it, right? And then you go ahead and sort of get yourself out, basically out of the game, because you won't get any pussy. In other words, you won't get any female in the market, or if you get one, she will lose interest pretty quickly because you're just losing, right? And there's plenty of losers, as George Carlin put it once. That's what life is, right? I mean, it's, just a few winners and a whole bunch of losers, basically. And if you're a female as a loser, you're losing it, right, in your career and basically in the money making generally. You have an excuse. You are excused. You will just redress yourself. You'll just switch up immediately, and you just get a couple babies and just say, well, I wasn't supposed to be this, career boss babe, because I'm a mother, You will be bailed out. And as a man, if you are a complete loser, like you didn't succeed in your career, and then you don't have kids, you don't have a family, because you aren't that attractive to women, well, then you have nowhere to appeal to, basically. You've lost it. And a lot of these guys, they do commit suicides. And yeah, I mean, I'm not like justifying all of this shit, but what I'm saying is, well, I'm not justifying, but I mean, sort of like not justifying, but what I'm saying is they are like logically, this man, they have way more excuses to do it to them because there's no bailing for men, right? I mean, as the saying goes in the manosphere, there's no one's coming to save you, man. It's like, if you're a man, no one's coming to save you. So if you've lost it, when you have that rock and roll in you, well, I mean, God is supposed to excuse you. That's how I see it, because there's way more requirements on man, towards man in the society. That you have to be successful, you have to succeed in whatever you do. For women, it's just a bonus. Yeah, you succeeded, it's great, applauses, basically. If you're a man, well, you lost it, well, you're just a loser. And then those guys, they decide to go. Well, I mean, can you really blame them? I think in our real world, we shouldn't even really like blame man that much. And if God exists, neither should God be blaming this man. At least he should probably give them like a discount. That's how I see it, because that's literally the natural law that was created by the hypothetical God. I'm not a religious person. I don't really believe in, at least I don't believe in the Abrahamic God. I'm sort of on the Gnostic side, Gnosticism. But anyway, regardless of your religion, I think it's just very telling that the stats that men are 4 times more likely, to go this length and actually do that and be that decisive. That's about the rock and roll that we men have. That's why rock and roll is mostly for men as a genre. Yeah, I mean, women listen to it too. There's fans, but I would imagine they do about 4 times less than men. So, yeah. Guys, by the way, you should support my apparel brand that I've, specifically made with the thought of sort of, our masculine sort of world and our, the issues, our reality that we live through. And well, I literally like dedicated my apparel brand to that, to us, to the rock and roll that is in us. And go ahead and just check out my shop. It's manfest.com. Just get something for yourself, because the designs are, I think the designs are really cool. And I'm a designer myself. I'm a graphic designer, so I do these designs, all of them I did myself, and I still do. There will be some new additions as well. So go ahead, guys, support this channel and grab something for yourself.